innocent, avec un cœur innocent. Tu verras ce que je ressens avant qu'il ne soit longtemps. La chance abandonne celui qui le sert. Tu n'auras personne pour te consoler. Tu ne l'auras pas volé. Laisse tomber les filles, un jour c'est toi qu'on le sera. Laisse tomber les filles, un jour c'est toi qui pleureras. Non, pour te plaindre il n'y aura personne d'autre que toi, Alors tu te rappelleras tout ce que je te dis là, Alors tu te rappelleras tout ce que je te dis là.
I'm Matt Thornton. No, I actually didn't. I didn't start training with Hickson. There was one of Hickson's black belts had an advertisement for sparring partners a few years before the first UFC in Portland, Oregon, named Fabio Santos. And I took a couple privates with him, and then I met Hickson and trained with Hickson after that for a while. Hickson gave me my blue belt, but I haven't seen him since that time. It's been years.
ルイスの容易には無茶右に出たこれがルイスの右です強烈な右です
Yes, for a short time.
Could you tell us something about that?
Boxing is painful and I wouldn't suggest it for anybody. Definitely wouldn't want my kids doing it. Mixed martial arts is a much more humane sport. Boxing's brutal. It's a horrible sport.
If you always want to keep your distance in boxing,
Right, he's asking me if it makes more sense to go to clinch it. Boxing doesn't make sense at all. This whole fucking thing doesn't make any sense. You're putting on gloves and trying to hit somebody else in the head and they're trying to hit you back. The whole thing is ridiculous. I absolutely know. It makes no sense at all. But if you want to learn how to fight, striking, you got to do it. Right? Ultimately, if you're going to have to learn how to throw a jab across and at least be able to defend a jab across, and then if you say to yourself, I'm going to be a jiu-jitsu guy and I just want to get to the clinch and get it down to the ground, I would say that you're a smart man. I would agree with you. I started boxing when I was 8. I boxed for years before I ever did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or anything else. I boxed amateur, was a pro sparring partner for quite a few people, including Lennox Lewis, and I want you to notice my nose, because it's not broken. I also want you to notice I'm still a good-looking man. And the reason for that is I've kept my distance and made sure that the people had to step to reach me because I don't like exchanging punches. There's nothing smart about that. It hurts, pee blood, have to eat soup. Boxing is a brutal, horrible sport that should be banned and outlawed every country on this planet. Where you're just going to hit somebody in the skull as hard as you can until they're unconscious. Mixed martial arts is far safer, more humane sport than boxing is. That said, it's like a necessary evil for fighting. You have to know how to strike. Keep your freaking distance. If you're within not having to step, it's clinch game. If it's clinch game, guy's gonna be able to shoot. There's no way you're gonna be able to sprawl. You gotta keep that distance, right?
it's a very old form of boxing system. Boxing is just a high guard, but it's useful if you don't want to spend a lot of time learning to throw hands, because you take less punishment to the head. You can get to the clinch and use takedowns. And some of the instructors like Carl and some other people have really taken it to another level, so it connects really well with mixed martial arts. It's much simpler to teach than orthodox boxing techniques of bobbing and weaving and things like that require a high level of timing and speed.
So you wouldn't actually call Crazy Monkey something new?
Yeah, there's nothing new. Think of a new Prime Color. It's just all reinvented, right? Nothing new under the sun. So it was just forgotten, and all credit to Rodney for making use of it. And then we saw it, I saw it, brought it back to our guys at the gym, and they've, like I said, people like Carl have really taken it to a whole different level and connecting it with the clinch and whatnot. But I'm sure if you go back in time, you can find other boxers that have used that type of system. I met Randy right after he won the first UFC. He came into my gym to learn some jiu-jitsu, to train, and we spent several years training together on a pretty regular basis after that. And it was during his, I didn't really realize how good he was until he was preparing for his fight with Maurice Smith, and then I got a first-hand chance to see his clinch game, because for that fight all we were practicing was he was taking me down and I was boxing, and I realized how much we had to learn in the clinch. So I have to give Randy credit. He really brought the clinch game to SPG, more or less. Before that, it was just basic Muay Thai and what the Brazilians have. Who wrote that question? Focus pad work is great. I give focus pad work a hard time sometimes because the audience that I'm occasionally speaking to, when you're talking to people that do JKD and traditional martial arts, they mistake looking good hitting focus mitts for having actual boxing skill. Those are two very different things. You can look like a superstar hitting focus mitts, and when you box, fall apart under pressure immediately. So it's meaningless. Form follows function, not the other way around. So definition of good form is how well you perform against a resisting opponent, and JKD people in particular have a tendency to forget that, and they become focus mitt addicts, wanting to learn 1,000 different combinations on a focus mitt. It's a good way to warm up. Second thing is, because we do mixed martial arts, we have to spend time doing clinch, you have to spend time on the ground. There's only so much time you have for stand-up, and the best use of that time is against somebody that's moving around hitting you back. And you can do that without getting hurt. So because of that, we use focus mitts primarily just to teach some basic tools and as a warm-up, but it's not a huge part of our curriculum. Makawar is fucking ridiculous. If you put a stationary target on a wall and hit it bare-fisted, the only thing you're going to do is hurt your hand. It's ridiculous. It's absurd.
Okay.
Stoppaði velinni. Aftur. Já, svona já. Aftur. Ok. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the next command is going to be fight for takedown or takedown. Final takedown. That means either one of you can go for the takedown and continue wrestling on the mat until I give out the next command. Off the bar in your own time. We'll take a break in a minute. Let's go. Face your partner. Ready?
Oh, you guys are doing great. Everybody's getting good quick. It's no surprise. It's an evolution of the sport, evolution of the way we train. People get good much faster than they used to. Every generation gets faster than the one that came before. That's the idea.
How about the BJJ standard at the club?
Good. It's good. The standard is what I would expect it to be at my own gym or Carl's gym or John's gym, given the same amount of time training. So that means that you guys are working proper fundamentals and that everybody's rolling, and that's all. It's good.
Where do you see Mjolnir going from here?
Depends on how focused. It just totally depends. It'll go exactly where it goes, and we'll find out. There's a potential for it to be huge here if you guys get your act together.
Assuming we've not been doing that.
Arnþórsson from Cavs Gym.
Yeah.
I met him on my first seminar here, and he told me he wanted to. Where should he go in Europe? And I told him go train at John's, and I didn't think he would because lots of people ask me those kind of questions. And he showed up at John's with a sleeping bag, and as far as I know, I think he's been there for what, 4 or 5 months, 6 months, 6 months, and he's doing great. I saw him both when I was at John's in Ireland, whatever it was, and I saw him in Florida. His jiu-jitsu's. Obviously, John's a fantastic coach. The jiu-jitsu's coming along, and he's a fucking great striker. He's got it. He could go all the way.
And nothing else matters. Never opened myself this way. Life is ours, we live it our way. Hold these words I don't trust.
Away where this were not to reach me, that's step one.
No, I've written a lot about that subject, and my issue with that is what's going to make you good. First of all, there's two big issues with that. The first one is in terms of physical training and being able to fight in the street. What's going to make you good is how much time you spend against a live opponent. And another big factor of that is conditioning and your ability to take a punch and how well your body reacts under pressure. And the guys that are in the gym that fight MMA, that are professional athletes, are the last people you'd want to get in a fight with in the street. And they're conditioned, they're used to getting punched in the face, they're used to punching people in the face, they're used to adrenaline, and they have the skill sets in stand-up clinching ground that are way beyond what the average human being is going to have. Fighting an average human being that doesn't know what a triangle is or how to throw a correct right cross is, it's ridiculous. It's like beating up it's not a fair fight. You know, it'd be like taking somebody off the street that doesn't know and putting them in a cage against a mixed martial arts fighter. Now that said, there are certain things that are task specific. If you're dealing with law enforcement, they've got their bat belt with a firearm on in the United States, so they have to be wary of the opponent grabbing a gun. And if it's multiple opponents or you're in a bar, but most of all those things are environmental and they're related to your state of awareness and your street smarts, not some secret fucking fighting technique. The second thing is people that tend to focus on the street aspect of martial arts or psychologically have some serious issues most of the time, and those are exploited by people that talk about teaching knife fighting and that kind of nonsense, and those people should be in counseling instead of being exploited. So I try and kind of point that out. And if you're overtly attracted to that violent aspect of martial arts, it's like wanting to drive by car accidents and telling the person to slow down because you hope you can see somebody with their head bashed open. There's some issues you need to deal with.
Would you say that ninjutsu is the next big thing?
Don't make fun of the ninjas.